Welcome to the Kindness Project, the podcast designed to share stories of kindness and share how kindness can make positive change in our world, one small act at a time. This time on the Kindness Project, the Tube, Blackpool's Comedy Carpet. Welcome, my friends, to another episode of the Kindness Project. I am joined today by the Incy Wincy Teeny Winny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini, said it in one go, boom, and the big yellow rainbow night dress. It's Charlotte Dames and Sophie Dames. How are we doing, ladies?
Who's who?
You're the rainbow coloured night dress, and Sophie is the Incy Wincy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini. I've said it again perfectly.
You said polka dot bikini.
Polka dot no.
And I'm joined by Sausage Fingers.
Who's Sausage Fingers Daddy?
And we're joined by a man who claims to be a tube master and yet gets lost on the C2C.
Right.
Oh my
now let's be honest. I am amazing on the tube.
Nah.
I can navigate any tube in the world with just about 5 minutes
It took you 3 days
preparation.
to get used to the trains in Japan.
No, right. I was navigating us with the help and support and assistance of Google Maps. To be honest, I mean, if I didn't have Wi-Fi, I would have been absolutely lost. Thank you for inserting a word that we could say on the podcast,
Wait.
and not one that I was gonna include.
Can you cover Daddy's ears, please?
Well, what did you want to? What do you want to say?
Can you cover Daddy's ears,
But
please?
do you realise that if
Wait, no. Daddy's Google Maps is really bad.
right, you do realise that you've said that into the mic, and when I hear it back, I'm going to be able to hear it. Right, sit down, Sophie. Come on, get involved. You are like a third co-host now.
They might not hear it on there because I whispered it really quietly.
I saw it come up on the screen, so they definitely heard
And
it.
I heard it.
Are you regretting saying that there or what?
No.
Oh, right, okay. I regret nothing. Vive the revolution.
As soon as you started speaking, all I could think about was, we're no longer the knights that say knee. We are the knights that say eki, batang swung.
Come here, I'll bite your bloody legs off.
It is barely a square.
Oh, you know what? Can we talk about something, right? I've never ever been excited about a piece of flooring before, but the comedy carpet in Brighton is amazing, isn't it? Don't you reckon?
It's not really carpet.
It's not really carpet, but
Paint.
if you've ever been to Brighton, outside the Blackpool's comedy carpet, there is just a massive piece of, what would you call it, flooring? I don't know. It's definitely not carpet, artistry, which has got hundreds of different comedy quotes.
But it's not like a carpet on the ground, it's like a newspaper bar.
It does look like a newspaper, you're right. But it is quite an amazing sight, isn't it?
What have the Romans ever done for us?
What have the Romans ever done? I know we like the Monty Python stuff, but there was a few on there that were really, really good. Anyway,
It's goodbye from him and it's goodbye.
it's goodbye from him and it's goodbye from me. That is from a show that you two won't remember called The Two Ronnies.
I know, I remember it.
You remember it?
I remember it.
You don't. Right? How do you remember The Two Ronnies? It went
come
off the
up
telly
before.
when I was a kid
It's come up before.
on the podcast.
No.
On
In general
just in
conversation.
life.
Yeah.
It's Two Ronnies comes up in life as it does. Anyway, can you tell people? Sophie, do you know how people can get in touch with us? Phone.
This is an audio podcast.
Right,
so
you
can
are
stop
now
hand
making
gestures.
signs on an audio podcast. People can't see you. You've just got like that in a minute for Twitter. Just make the wing signs for Twitter. Charlotte, you're the expert at this, darling. I don't know why we're relying on this young amateur to get involved. Amateur podcaster.
This is amateur.
Facebook!
Right, sit down and you can do Facebook. So, Charlotte, you do Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter, there's this magical thing called the search bar. And if you go into the search bar and put @OlaKindness, you get this magical thing that's actually our account, and you'd be surprised how much we put on there. I don't know how much we put on there.
I don't know, Russell does it.
Russell does
And Russell, the editor's not with us today, is he? He's been with us in the last couple of episodes, but today he's not with us.
Facebook, how do you get to us on Facebook?
Oh, you just go to the magic
So you're amateur, just amateur podcasting. What's going on?
Amateur.
Right. So you said,
us.
right, I'm going to do Facebook. How'd you get us on Facebook again?
You just put the Kindness Project in the Facebook search bar.
But we have got an email address. Sophie, do you know the email address?
No, I do not.
Right, I'm going to teach you so next time you can do it.
Wait, I want to do it. Okay, so show us your magical jazz hands. It's Ola at the Kindness Project.co.uk.
Yeah, so it's all there.
Yeah.
And
You can get that from Google. Not.
And basically, if you don't know what this podcast is, it is mostly nonsense, but designed so that we can share stories of just positive stuff happening in the world. And we talk to some amazing people.
We hope our loopiness brings you some positive.
We hope our fun brings you some joy. We try and share stories of
lovely people like Grandad Potatoes.
Yeah, Grandad Potatoes has never been on the podcast though.
Never.
No, but we have had people who have invented apps that help the world. We've had loads of people from charities who have told their story. We've coming up, we've got the host of the Kindness Diaries on Netflix, Leon Logothetis. He's on next week, so he'll be really good. And we just talk to people who are doing amazing stuff in the world. How does that sound as a concept?
I don't know what you mean. I'm holding up a thumbs up right now.
Thumbs up. You're liking it.
Thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Right. Okay.
4 thumbs up.
Okay. So we all like the idea of the Kindness Project, don't we?
Of course.
Okay. So, shall we? Oh no.
You almost forgot it again.
I'm missing it every week this week. This week's question of the podcast is inspired. No. Let me tell the story behind it. Inspired by a shop that when I'm off to the gym, I pass every day, and it's a barber's shop or women's hair salon called Hairsay, and that was inspired by a really poor band in the 2000s called Hairsay, right? So my question, I looked at that shop and thought about this question. If you had a shop and you had to call it by a name that was actually a pun, what would you call it? Who's going to go first?
Sausage fingers.
So, what? You'd have a butcher's called Sausage Fingers, would you? I'd have a butcher's called Grab the Bull by the Horns. What would you have?
No,
I don't know. I'm still reeling from the Bits and Bob's shop called Junk and Disorderly.
I would have
a sweet shop called Harry Potter.
I'd have a sausage shop that sold pigs in blankets wrapped in honey, but it was super unhealthy. Every single thing in there, and I'd just call it Dirty Cow. What do you reckon? I thought that was quite good.
I'd have an ice cream parlour called Sweet and Ice.
Sweet and Ice, what's that?
Sugar and Ice, I mean.
I'd have an ice cream parlour called Ice Baby. Dun 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 London.
See that in brackets, just like Ice
just the brackets with dun 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 London. Dun 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 London. What would you have, Soph?
Ice Baby.
I don't know. I would have a meat shop called Sausage Fingers.
You'd have a meat shop called Sausage Fingers, fair enough. So, that's our ideas. I'm sure you can come out.
I would have a normal shop called Sausage and Veggie Fingers.
Sausage and Veggie Fingers. What would it sell?
Sausages and veggies.
So you could start a kids' toy shop called Child's Play.
That's freaky, and it would have to sell the Chucky dough as well, wouldn't it? That's the thing. It would be super scary. So that's our ideas about what we'd have in our pun-based shops. Can you tell us yours? And on that note, let's get on with the show. So, Charlotte, for this week's story of kindness, I'm going to talk to you about a little book I bought.
Ooh.
It's called Random Acts of Kindness, 365 Ways to Make the World a Nicer Place.
Don't tell me you're going to list all 360.
No, I'm only going to list 362. Is that all right?
Such an odd number to go down to.
I know. It's by a guy called Danny Wallace, and Danny Wallace has written a bunch of really good books, including ones where he created a cult and started his own country. So he likes to write about pretty quirky but pretty cool stuff. He's a really good writer, Danny Wallace. And I wanted to share with you some of the things that we're gonna do as out of Danny Wallace's book. So I'm gonna pick a random page, and we'll see what ones you fancy doing from that random page. You ready? Okay. So you stop.
Stop.
Okay. As a random act of kindness, this is from a bloke called Worm. I don't know, that's quite a weird name, Worm, from Edinburgh. As a random act of kindness, I wander around Edinburgh giving bottles of cheap wine to the bagpipers you get on almost every street corner. Not only does it make the piper very happy, but it also gives us locals a rest from the constant wailing. Bagpipes are awful, aren't they? I mean, genuinely, that.
It's not awful for a bagpipe player.
Well, obviously, they need to keep themselves alcoholically medicated to suffer the bagpipes. I'm not going to go around the streets of London giving away wine, but I'll tell you what might be worth doing, and we'll do this over the next couple of weeks.
Giving away food?
Food and water. We did food before, but I reckon we buy a crate of waters and go into town and just give them away. What do you reckon?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Are you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Right, let's do it. Give a pot plant to a bus driver. It will brighten up their dashboard. What happens if the... Well, number one, we're not going to give away pot plants. There's only one thing we can give away, right, Charlotte?
Cactuses?
We've got a little WhatsApp group called the Cactus
Appreciation Society.
The Cacti Appreciation Society, and we just post pictures of cacti, don't we? So it's good fun. Maybe we give cacti to bus drivers, but is it not dangerous to do that?
Yeah.
Is it or not?
They fall on their face if they stop too quickly.
Yeah, don't know. Let's give another one a go. You ready? Okay. Dress up as a wizard for a mate who's reading Harry Potter. Now, bear in mind, this book was written 13 years ago. There is acts of kindness in it that talk about fax machines and Walkmans and stuff like that. So that might be originally reading Harry Potter, but I think everybody's read Harry Potter by now.
Or watch the movies.
How about this one? Buy popcorn for a stranger at the cinema. What do you think of that one?
I barely took enough money to the cinema for my own popcorn.
I know. I like that idea. Do you want to go?
Okay, you're going to have to tell me when to stop.
What? What's with the sound effect?
Making it more interesting. The page flicking wasn't working for me.
All right, okay, go on then. Stop. What we got?
Medal with a colleague's screensaver. Put a lovely message on there for them, such as "I love you and I always will." It's best not to do this if you have a prison record for stalking.
Yeah, if you're a stalker, putting "I love you" surreptitiously on a colleague's computers, not a good move. And perhaps maybe replace "I love you" with "You're a bit awesome." Something that might be less construed as weird. You gonna give it another go?
Yeah, I'm gonna make the sound effect.
Go on it. Stop.
Wrap a pound coin in aluminium foil and give it to one of those street artists who dress up all in silver and stand very still. It will show them you appreciate their art. You can laugh about it with your friends later.
Now, I don't get that one. I read that one and I was a bit... I'm not convinced I'd wrap it in aluminium foil. Why not just give them the quid?
I don't know. Especially if it's one of those people who paints themselves entirely goals.
Yeah. If it was a silver street artist, you might want to do that. I'm going to give it a go now. You ready? If you're making the sound effects, you can't say stop, can you?
Oh, shut up. I'll just stop making
I'm not doing the sound effects. I'm not going to... Right, yeah, I'll be doing it.
Yes.
Go on and go.
Stop.
Okay, so there's a few on here, and I want to see... So far we've decided we're going to do the water one. Mm-hmm. What I want to do one from this page, right? So on this couple of pages that I'm looking at, I've got send a present to your postman.
Do we know where our postman lives?
No, but you could give him a present as he comes to deliver something for you.
Suppose.
Pump up somebody's bicycle tyres.
I don't even know how to pump up my own bicycle tires. I don't even know if I have a bicycle.
Whistle while you work, unless you're asked not to. Now, I know Sophie at the minute is trying to learn to whistle, isn't she? Now, I know you can whistle. I can whistle. But it doesn't say annoy the podcast listeners by whistling. It says whistle while you work.
Oh, yeah. Imagine me in the middle of my exams. So I can't do it now. I laughed.
Okay. Pop a sugar cube next to an ant's nest. I'm not really overly bothered about being kind to ants, but it might work. It might work.
The entomologist might thank you for that.
I
think that's the right one.
Now, I like this one. Take some toys to a maternity ward and tell them to give them to whoever needs them.
Yeah,
now, that is something we can definitely do because we've got loads of toys. They're creating a bit of a clutter at the minute.
Yes.
So should we do that one from that page?
Yes.
However, the next one is cactus related. So you might want to do this one. Give a big man a small cactus. Now, you did this the other day, didn't you?
Who
You gave me a small cactus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then leave a small tip out in an envelope marked Paperboy. Again, written 13 years ago when Paperboys were...
Do it for the milkman now.
We don't even get a milk delivered anymore.
I know people who do get milk delivered.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
Frankie, she gets some milk delivered.
Frankie gets some milk delivered, does she? Right, okay. Is she living in 1982? Right, one more go. So we've decided we're going to do the water one and we're going to take some toys to a maternity ward, yeah? Okay, cool. Next.
Stop. Got like the sound effect there.
Oh, I like this one. If you see someone sitting on their own during a pub quiz, invite them to your team. I quite like that.
Pub quizzes anymore.
No, people still do pub quizzes. If your office is planning a secret Santa and you've got to spend £10, spend 11. What a rebel!
Revelation.
Have you ever done a secret Santa?
Oh yeah, I did one at school.
Did you? How'd it go?
I gave them a Terry's chocolate orange.
Oh, pushing a boat out, Terry's chocolate orange, and a book. What did you get?
I can't remember.
Oh.
I think it was a book.
Not a Terry's chocolate orange with the book.
Well, no, I put the Terry's chocolate orange in the bag because you guys were always saying to me, you can't have a Christmas without Terry's chocolate orange.
I think you can't have Christmas without 3 different types of chocolate, and Terry's chocolate orange isn't one of them. I think the 3 are After Eights, Ferrero Rocher, and Celebrations. I think they are.
Or have at least one of those. On
Exactly. Compliment a gay man on his choice of life partner. Yeah. What do you think? Good choice, mate. Good choice. He seems like a good fella. Tell a sweaty woman she has a healthy glow. I'm not going to do that, Danny Wallace. I'm not wandering around trying to find a sweaty woman.
Did you see the one in there that said stand outside of Weight Watchers and tell the women they look like?
I'd get in trouble for that. On a sunny day, give somebody a spare pair of shades. Now, I really like this one because I'm always losing my sunglasses.
And I never have sunglasses.
So maybe we should buy 2 or 3 cheap pairs and just say, look, if you forgot your glasses, would you like a pair? I quite like that idea. Okay, so what are your let's do it one more time. Are you ready?
Stop.
Okay. Buy a scratch card and hand it to a stranger. I'm not doing that. I don't like scratch cards. I think they're a waste of money. So buying it and handing it to a stranger, I'm not going to go for. However, buy an unpopular CD single just to
popular music, though.
just to support the artist. Because I tell you what, I wrote a really unpopular book on pensions once, and if somebody it was that good.
The dedications page.
It was dedicated to you. I hope you read the dedications page. But literally, if somebody would like, as an act of kindness to me, if somebody would like to go and buy my book, available in no good bookshops,
and then rave about it,
and then give me a review, that would be great. We've now got more positive reviews for the podcast than we have for the book. I don't know what that... It's all you, Charlotte. You're all the positive reviews. And if you can't make it to a gig, don't waste the ticket. Give it to a stranger. I quite like that one. So we're going to do a few more of these next week, but I think we've decided on two main ones, the giving out water, and we're going to take some toys to a maternity ward. How does that sound?
Sounds fun.
Awesome.
This is what I know about Charlotte. She doesn't like the sun. She doesn't like souls either.
Right, are we carrying it? Are we including that? The fact that Charlotte doesn't like sun or souls? Right, okay, cool.
I like souls, they're tasty.
That's now in the end of the show. But the end of the show doesn't really start until Charlotte does her jingle.
Yes! I love this bit.
God, that's loud. That's loud. You've just woken up half the street with that one. There's the end. Right.
This is the end!
Right, okay. So, it is the end, but the end...
It's never the end.
It's never really the end.
It's only the beginning, and we have another piece to do, and
Yeah, so
78 episodes in.
So, Sophie, can you remember what we do at the end of the podcast? Can you remember?
Last week's question of the day.
Last week's question of the day. You're less of an amateur now. High five. You're turning into a proper podcast pro. Well done. And last week's question of the podcast. Can you remember what last week's question of the podcast is, Charlotte?
No.
Amateur.
I never know.
Rank amateur.
It's because of the way we record them, I always forget.
Yeah, I know. I've got them all in my head and all the answers.
And on a Word document. Yeah.
Because you've got a bigger brain than us.
No, I've got them written down. That's right. Last week's question of the podcast is, what do you get nostalgic about? And we had loads of really good answers. So, my cousin Lou, said she gets nostalgic about, friend of the show, by the way. Friend of the show.
Cool.
Said Louise gets nostalgic about aniseed balls, lavender, Pink Panther films, and so many other happy thoughts remind me of my dad. Right? Now, I'll tell you a story about Lou. Lou is an amazing woman who lived opposite us when I was growing up. And she was a karate champion. So she was amazing at karate growing up. And in Lou's dad's house, there was a room dedicated to her karate. It was full of trophies and weirdly old antiques. So it was full of trophies, and then it had a gramophone, and then it had like just all this really old stuff. It was amazing.
Send the next.
You can send the next one.
Can you send it?
So Alison Hagan, what makes Alison nostalgic is
Music.
And you know what? I think
Like Itsy Wincy Spider or Mozart kind of music.
probably neither, to be honest. Who gets nostalgic about Itsy Wincy Spider?
It's a bit of spider.
I don't. I get
you
nostalgic
to a
on
question.
Mozart.
Can I ask you a question? In assembly, what songs do you sing?
We don't.
You don't sing.
I do.
What songs do you sing?
It's rare we have assemblies nowadays.
Yeah, because when I was probably
I usually don't know what they're called.
a little bit
Spotty
old.
Socks. Oh my god, I remember that one.
I like my spotty socks. Spotty socks.
Ooh, I like my spotty socks. In go my toesies, I'm really glad I chose these. I like my spotty socks. Yeah.
Right, enough. Right.
Fluffy socks.
Can we get back to the podcast, please? Right.
Or spring chicken. I'm a spring chicken. Yeah, no, we used to have one
Right,
in
sit
springtime.
down. Right,
we don't
come on.
anymore.
Right. Now there was a song when I was probably a little bit older than Soph, right?
Was it one of those
And-
cheesy Christmas ones?
And
we used to
young,
always sing?
no, and younger than Charlotte, where there was a line in it where It was if I'm cold and I'm naked, you were there. Did you ever sing that, Charlotte? You were cold, and it never ever.
I was cold and naked. Were you there?
Yeah,
were
a
you
bunch
there?
of 10-year-olds. That's the most hilarious thing in the world.
Were you there?
Cold and naked. Anyway, so
And the cream and the colour and the cake.
don't matter, you were there. So okay, so Mandy Medlock, who's doing this one?
Me.
Mandy Medlock. What makes Mandy Medlock nostalgic?
Soap.
Soap. What kind of soap?
Carbolic soap.
Carbolic soap reminds me of my childhood. And Caramac. Oh, have you ever had a Caramac chocolate bar? Oh, so do I. My dad used to work for Roundtrees and bring margarine tubs of it home. Ooh, very nice. Serena
soap?
van der Meulen-Taylor. That's a very Dutch name, isn't it? Serena van der Meulen-Taylor said, lavender makes me nostalgic. Just reminds me of my grandma every time. Cookie, friend of the show,
Yep.
said,
I'm going to do this one.
yeah. So there. Cookie, friend of the show. What makes Cookie nostalgic?
Where?
There.
That one.
Yeah. That one.
The one you've both been pointing at for the past minute.
That one. Old computer games make Cookie nostalgic. Yeah, no, and they do. I love a retro game. You love a retro game, don't you?
Retro game.
And then, what is it? What makes Mummy's commented on the podcast?
I don't know what that said.
Estee Lauder Youth Jew. I don't know what that is. Always reminds me of my nan, and my sister wears it now. And the smell of a coal fire brings back so many memories of Glen Eagle Drive. Claire Foster Cleary said, Youth Jew as well. Charlie Goodman, he, what makes Charlie nostalgic?
Music.
Music again. Takes him back to different times in his life, and he really associates certain songs to particular moments. See, I do that.
I do it with people.
Do you? So what song do you link Mummy to?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'll do it off the top of my head. I'll just go through my playlist and I'll be like,
Oh, I know what song Charlotte is that describes Charlotte.
Go on then.
Today I don't feel like doing
Anything.
I just wanna lay in my bed.
Definitely.
I always associate Mum with Listen.
Okay. Yeah, that's an amazing song. Right, Andrew Nelligan is another music one, 90s music for him. Rachel Vahey said she gets nostalgic about looking at old photos. So does Gemma Siddle. And Philip Bray said, I've got a box I've got full of memories of things I've done with the kids and Sarah. Tickets to gigs and cricket matches, programmes for school plays. I've got them going back years. Now,
Daddy, I think you should go back to school. You don't know how to read match.
I don't know how to read match. Somebody needs to teach me, don't they? But yeah, keeping those memories is really good. And Sue Pringle said music as well. So music is the overriding thing that makes a lot of people nostalgic.
Music's powerful.
Music is powerful. Yeah, definitely. And on that particular note, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.